Whitehaven is an Australian coal producer, arguably the largest independent coal company in Australia. We're listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. We produce out of the Gunnedah Basin, both metallurgical and thermal coal.
We've got 4 open cut mines: Tarrawonga, Werris Creek, Rocglen and Maules Creek, our most recently constructed large-scale open cut mine. But we also complement that with our large-scale Narrabri underground mine up close to the town of Narrabri. Strategically, Whitehaven is very well positioned. We've got very high quality assets with very high quality output. We're leveraged to the markets that pay a premium for that coal, and by the same token, we're also leveraged, the coal quality that we have is leveraged to advances in technology which are focused on driving lower emissions from the consumption of coal.
Over the last few years since the merger in 2012, we've been through the process of getting Maules Creek firstly approved and then constructed and now producing. We've gone through the process of getting the Narrabri underground into full production, and what that has achieved is as I say, arguably Australia's largest independent coal company, producing a tad over 20 million tonnes of high quality export coal per annum.
If we look back at where we were when we orchestrated the merger of Whitehaven with Aston Resources, we knew that we were on the cusp of a significant growth path, and so we had 3 open cut operations, as you know. They were producing at a rate of about 5 million tonnes per annum. 2016 just gone past, we went over 20 million tonnes. So a significant growth path. So when we stood back at that time of that merger and we charted that course in terms of that growth path going forward, it was an exciting prospect that we thought was daunting, but at the same time we thought we had a great platform with excellent assets, we had good people, and we knew if we were all focused together we could deliver on the commitments that we said. Well, if we go through our portfolio of assets, Maules Creek in particular, large scale, our largest asset, approved for 13 million tonnes per annum, currently running at about 9 million tonnes on an annualised basis. 2016, first commercial year of production, done very well in producing 7.8 million tonnes. The costs are coming down, our workforce is building over time, we'll continue to bring in more equipment to ramp up to that approved 13 million tonne rate, so doing very well. Our Narrabri mine has, in a very short period of time, turned into one of the industry-leading longwall operations in the country. When we merged the companies, Narrabri was going through the commissioning process. In a very short period of time, certainly 1 or 2 ranked in the industry as far as longwall operations go. Our Gunnedah operations have certainly been the mainstay of our business. Our open cut operations at Tarrawonga, Rocglen and Werris Creek certainly have been what you would say the financial underpinnings of the growth of the company. Our Vickery project is really important to the company going forward. We have an approval for 4.5 million tonnes per annum, and that project has 200 million tonnes of reserve, so a long life asset. But we are going through a process of seeking to enlarge that approval up to 10 million tonnes per annum. So a lot of work has been done about the necessary studies that go together with depositing an environmental impact statement with the New South Wales Government to seek that enlarged approval for Vickery. It's an exciting project, and we think it'll add another layer of growth to Whitehaven as a company. I think central to Whitehaven's value proposition as an employer is the fact that we are a local employer. Our belief is that that's the right thing for the communities that host our operations, and so 80% of our employees live in the area around those businesses. The community tells us that's the right answer for them, and certainly our employees like to be able to go home to their families at the end of every day or shift, and we're very supportive of that.
We've made an enormous commitment to North West New South Wales, and particularly the Gunnedah Basin, the local economy, the local communities, in terms of the investments that we've made there, the value of the economic stimulus that takes place in those local economies as a result of our operations is quite significant, and it's counted annually in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
For us, safety is first and foremost of our minds at all times. You can never take safety for granted. We operate in a business which is inherently risky in a sense. And our underground operations in particular obviously carries with it more inherent risk than the open cut operations. But if you look at our safety performance over the last 3 years, our rate of incidences has nearly halved from what it was in 2013. So whilst I'm pleased with the rate of improvement of safety in the business, you can never take that for granted. So I think we need to redouble our efforts, acknowledge that we've done well, but redouble our efforts and continue to drive our safety message right through the business. Environmental performance is central to the connection with the community, so we must perform well, we must be mindful of the other land uses in the area, and we must ensure that the 2% of that 66,000 hectare footprint that we have that is used for mining is run in a way which is consistent with the other land uses that are around us. One of the initiatives that we put in place in order to deepen that connection is to open a physical presence in the main street of Gunnedah. So we've established a regional office there, and the roles that are centred there are ones which service all of our mines. The vast majority of our people are located on mine sites themselves, but there are roles which sweep across all our operations, and generally they're based in Gunnedah. But that shop front has been very good for us in terms of making us more accessible. You can swing by, you can say hello, you can inquire about jobs, you can understand about what we're doing on the ground with rehabilitation or the next wave of employment, or even if you want to give some feedback where you think we can do better, we're always open to that as well. And I think that's made us a lot more user-friendly than we have been in the past. Our Aboriginal employment program has been a bit of a game changer for us, there's no doubt about it. Aboriginal people represent about 8 or 9% of the population in the northwest of New South Wales. We set ourselves a target of 10% employment at Maules Creek in 5 years, and we're now at 13%, so that's been a great success. Overall, the company itself records now 11% of our workforce self-identify as being Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander heritage, which is fabulous. So we're actually exceeding the natural representation that they represent in the broader population of the Northwest region, which is great.
I'm enormously proud of everybody that works with the company and for the company in what we are achieving and what we're actually building. We are building a significant operation in the Australian economy.